Hey everyone, for today's print and paint, we will be doing Levi from Attack on Titan. This model is from Sekai 3D Models Patreon. Hopefully I pronounced that right, but their models are pretty cool. You can feel free to go check them out. I don't remember if this model came pre-supported or not, but the supports look pretty good here and everything came out great. For the base coat, I'm going to be using Gravelord Gray from the Army Painter Speed Set. This is my first time using an airbrush and painting a model, so you guys will be with me as I get better at it. The base was also split into 4 different prints, so I did the other parts of the base off screen. I'm using a Vallejo black here, just to make the bottom of the base a little darker than the top. I know there's much more I could do with the base, but for my first time painting a print, I'm going to focus more on the character. This part of the base has a Titan arm on it. There's only flesh on this part of it, so I used 2 to 3 coats of this red contrast paint. Moving on to the body, I'm going to start off by painting the leather parts of his uniform. Most of the paints I'll be using in this video are from the Army Speed Painter set. I believe this one is dark wood. I'm also using some masking tape to protect the areas I don't want any of the paint to get on. For the scout jacket, I'm using a sand golem paint, and I honestly wasn't sure if I would like it at first, but after going all around, I was happy with it. Levi's shirt is gray, so I used the same color that I used on the base. I tried to keep the airbrush a little farther out so it didn't end up a dark gray like the base, but it was still a little darker than I wanted. To lighten it up a bit, I mixed in some Vallejo white. I switched to using some silly putty instead of masking tape, just because it was easier to form the silly putty around the print. For the cape, I used Absolution Green. I ended up doing a second coat after this just to make the green a bit darker. These 2 prints here are blood, that's going to be part of the sword. For this I used the same red contrast paint that I used earlier on the base. For the straps, I used a leather brown paint. This model isn't big, so doing this was pretty difficult. I could have tried it masking tape or putty, but I just decided to go for freehanding it. For his face, I just used a base flesh and mixed in some highlight skin from the fairy flesh set. I used the same method for his hands as well. Unfortunately, there's no footage of me doing the details on his face because I didn't change the camera angle, so my hand was blocking the camera. I'll definitely have to keep that in mind for future videos. For the ODM gear, I tried a dark gray, but it looked too dark compared to my reference image, so I ended up going over it with White Lord paint to give it a lighter gray. I then used Vallejo metal color to go over some parts of the ODM gear and the swords. I highly recommend this Vallejo metal paint. It was pretty easy to use and fill up the creases. Now that all of our pieces are painted, we can move on to the best part and start assembling our model. I'm just using some Gorilla Glue and waiting for the pieces to dry. After seeing how the swords and part of Levi's face has blood on it, I thought it'd make sense for other parts of his uniform to have blood on it too, so I did some light splatter painting. If you're interested in purchasing a print, have any questions, or want to share your own work on similar projects, feel free to reach out to me on TikTok or Instagram at FiguresForge3D. You can also find the links in the description below. And now that we have our print fully assembled, let's bring it to the photo booth. I hope you guys enjoyed my first video. There will be many more to come. I'm new to this, so if there's any experienced painters out there that have any tips, leave a comment. If you guys have any character requests as well, I'd love to hear them. I guess I'm a YouTuber now, so like, comment, subscribe, bell thingy. Thanks, bye.